Hi everyone, it's Karen here from Karen's Creation Scrapbooking. I just wanted to show you this week's card and how I made it. Okay. So I started with a navy piece of cardstock and I stamped it white first and then I sprinkled glitter on it, but it didn't stick. So this time what I did was I heat embossed with Versamark some white snowflakes onto the navy cardstock. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is take some white paint and just my little splatter box here. I'll hit the camera a little bit, sorry. So I'm going to take my little splatter box with some white paint, and I have the white paint in a little container. I have my little splatter brush, and I'm just going to put some paint on my paintbrush, and I'm going to flick it. So you can use like a hard bristled paintbrush or an old toothbrush, something like that with white paint. So with the white paint, you're going to want to water it down a little bit. And we're just going to give it some really tiny snowflakes here. Okay, so can you see those snowflakes? So now what I'm going to do is take this, you can sprinkle some glitter on it, okay? So if you sprinkle some glitter on it, the paint it'll stick to the paint. And it'll make little nice snowflakes. Okay, so while that is drying, I'm just going to set it aside. And I'm going to show you the dies that I use. So I use this Sizzix snowman die from Tim Holtz. It's called Mr. Frost. And I just wanted to show you the pieces because they're really not that terribly small. Okay, so there's 3 large pieces. These 2 are white, this is black for the buttons. You have a hat, 2 arms, the nose, and the scarf. So the nose and the arms are a little bit small, but it's not too bad to cut out. And then I also have this new tree, the tree line, Tall Pines it's called. That's a new one. And what I used for the snowflake stamp set is this stamp set from Crafter's Companion. Doesn't really have a title. Oh, Snowflakes, Glittering Snowflakes Collection. And it has a few sayings on it, which I thought was kind of cute for snow. Okay, so that's what I used. So I'm just going to show you how I glued it together. So you're going to get your tree, you're going to have to poke out all these holes. You got a large white snowman behind that doesn't have any holes in it. You got a black one. And you got 2 little pieces of carrot. You don't have to use both of them. I think I might just use the one for today because it's pretty tiny. So I have this little poker tool and I'm just going to pop out some of these little holes. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is glue this down on top of the black snowman. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue. Sorry, I wasn't in the camera. So I'm gonna put a little bit of glue on the back side of that, and then I'm gonna stick it down on top of the black. It's okay if it's a little off because you want a little bit of a shadow. Now this one here, I put a little bit of light blue, but I think I'm gonna try for my people that don't have ink, you can try a little bit of the pencil crayon along the side. It just gives it a little, an edge, a different color. I'm just gonna put a little bit of black on there. Okay, and then I'm gonna glue it to my white base here. So this white base, you're gonna want to try and center it a bit because it's white all the way around the edges. Okay. So now what I'm gonna do is glue this top hat on top. And then there's a little green strip that I put on the top hat. Now there's a couple of marks there that shows you where to put the glue. And now I'm gonna stick down my stick arms here. One's going up and the other one is going down. Whoop. As you can see, they're a little tiny. So I'm just gonna put them almost where the shoulders would be there. Okay. Now I have this red scarf I'm gonna put down. And you want the hanging part of the scarf to be on your left-hand side. Okay, and it's just gonna go along the edge of the indentation at the top of the snowman. And then you have another piece that goes on top just to give it a little element of design, a little layering. Okay, and we have the carrot nose, and I'm just gonna use the big one because the tiny one, I don't know, maybe if I cut it out a different color it would be okay, but I'm just gonna use the one. I think it'll be fine. Yep, I like them. Okay, so now that's the snowman done. So now what I'm going to do is, yeah, this is dry now. So sorry about that long pause. Emily was banging on the door. Emily is my daughter to come into the store. So now what we're going to do, where is my base? I don't know where I put my base. Okay. have a base. It's a white base card. And what you're going to do is take your string and fold it in half. And you're going to put some glue on the back of the blue card. And since the string is on the right hand side, you're going to want to put a little bit more string on your left. Just make sure it's even. So we're going to want more string on the right hand side. Okay, I'm just going to stick it down. And then we're going to glue this to the card base. Okay, and what I like to do is put a little bit of ink on the edges of my tag. It's just a little bit of black ink. I'm going to put the string through on the left hand side and tie a bow. So we have a little bow at the top. Just gonna cut my string here. Okay, so now I'm just going to put a little foam square behind the tag, just to make it pop up. You have a few foam squares at home. Okay. So, most of you might not have this stuff at home. So if you don't, it's called dimensional snow paint. It comes in a bottle and you can just decorate your trees with it. So, but what I'm gonna do first is cut my tree apart. So the big tall one I'm gonna put to the one side, and this other one here I'm going to put it to the one side. Okay, and then these ones here, I'm just going to cut the middle, and this one here is going to go over top of the snowman as well. Okay, so if you don't have dimensional snow paint, what you can do is paint your trees, right, with the white paint. So I'm just going to take some of this paint here and a piece of paper I don't really care about. So I'm going to put a little bit of paint on my tree. Ooh, that's a lot of paint. Okay, and then I'm going to stick it in the glitter to give a little bit of glitter effect. You can also add glitter with some glue. But this works well too. Okay. Well, if you don't want to put snow on your trees, that's okay too. You don't have to. I'm going to put a little bit of snow at the top of his hat. And I just stuck some glitter on it. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is put a foam square on the back of my snowman. I'm going to glue the large trees down onto the card. So it can go off the card if you want. But, you know, I want you to cover most of this blue at the bottom. So that you don't see any sky at the bottom, okay? So I'm going to do a couple of trees here. And then this tree set I'm going to put here. I might cut off a little bit more at the bottom here. And then I'm going to put my snowman down. And then I want to put these little trees half on the snowman and half on the right side of the card, okay? So it's a little dimensional. So again, I have this Snow Rider paint that I put at the bottom. Let me cut off that. I'm just going to cut off the greenery here. I don't need all that green. Okay, so it looks a little dimensional because of that Snow Rider paint. If you don't have that stuff, you can use paint. It just won't be as thick. Or you can use Crafter's Companion's Fluffy White stencil butter. You can use that. Add some glitter to it. Okay. I'm just gonna make my brush is a little too big for this. Just kind of make it look like a snow hill. But I'm gonna add a little bit of this just to show you what it looks like. Okay, so it's pretty thick stuff. I did use it this afternoon and it feels like sand when it comes out. So yeah, it is, there's something stuck in here, but I will get it out. There it is. Okay, it should work now. There we go. Okay. You can see it, it's really thick paint. That paint in my container was watered down, so if you just use paint that's not watered down, it should work as well. You can add a little bit. If you have a little paintbrush, you can add a little bit to your trees. Okay, add some glitter to it to make it look glittery. Because snow does glisten. Okay, and there you have your dimensional snow. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry it was a little long, little couple of delays, but that's what happens when we are making videos. Take care and have a wonderful day.